The greatest scientific discovery in history has merely run into the countryside.
Welcome back to my dark corner of this sick world.
It's only a movie. It's only a movie.
Chosen by one of our Patreon shadows, please sign up if you'd like to pick a film for us to review. Biohazard is the work of unapologetically trashy filmmaker Fred Olen Ray. And like The Alien Dead, which we reviewed last year, this is a throwback to those Alien on the Rampage in a Small Town movies of the 50s.
We're definitely dealing with some form of intelligent life.
But with a few twists along the way.
This device makes it possible to amplify Lisa's brainwaves as she attempts to channel them.
Psychic Lisa Martin has hooked up with scientist Dr. Williams, who is able to utilise her unique attributes.
With the help of Miss Martin and the equipment you see here, I am able to reassemble matter, physical material, from an unknown dimension.
Put bluntly,
You mean you can reach into another world, grasp an object, and bring it back here, to this lab?
which they are now demonstrating to the usual military types.
Afternoon, General.
All squeeze in, the camera won't go back any further. The experiment doesn't go perfectly as Williams fries his assistant. But I guess that doesn't have any effect, as it's never mentioned again, and Lisa's mind has successfully drawn matter from another dimension.
I wonder what this is. It looks like a container of some sort.
Specifically, a china figure and a metal crate. Looks like an average episode of Bargain Hunt. Like the fried assistant, the figurine is never mentioned again, while the metal crate is loaded onto a van with a sentry standing guard. But another twist in this is that because she brought it forth, Lisa retains some sort of psychic connection to the creature.
I sense fear.
You sure that's not coming from the guy who got his face ripped off?
Seems so senseless to kill it.
And so we're into that classic trope of army versus science, coming together symbolically in the lead couple.
What would you like to do until 11 o'clock?
Read my mind.
Not often you see that sort of age gap when the woman is the older one.
Does that age have any bearing on all this?
It's for you.
Before they can go any further, they are interrupted by a phone call.
I measured it when I got off duty. It was 13 inches. I just checked it and it's 14.
Did you just call to brag?
Look, don't touch that thing.
Who knows what might happen? Earlier, Mike there stole a mysterious item that he found in the crate. Is everyone else seeing a cardboard box covered in tape? Again, Lisa has insight.
It's not growing. It's opening itself.
Well, I guess you either call a scientist to examine it.
No.
Or the army to contain it.
Okay, now I'm going to try to hammer it back to size.
Yep, that's the sensible third option.
Cover your faces.
Oh no, I've made things much worse. Although this is not the plot to Alien, the creature certainly is alien. From facehugger to adult. Incidentally, the adult alien is played by Ray's 7-year-old son, something you can pretty much tell. And as long as we're talking about casting, Lisa is played by Angelique Pettyjohn, famed for her appearance in Star Trek.
Slow down! How many times have I told you speed kills?
And nagging wife Ruler is played by Carol Borland, forever iconic for her role in Mark of the Vampire. It's Ruler and her husband Jack who next run into the creature. Literally. And Jack sees dollar signs.
I got me a monster. A dead one.
Doesn't end well for Jack. Although I'd say the sheriff he calls is at least a little to blame.
Jack?
You all right down there? The alien continues on its rampage, killing some, dribbling on others. Until... when we reviewed The Alien Dead, I thought it was pretty obviously a spoof. This is a lot less clear-cut. Partly because, at times, it is obviously tongue-in-cheek, most notably when the alien encounters an E.T. poster. Others, definitely not. The problem is that the dialogue is so bad.
This I've got to see.
So utterly removed from anything a person would actually say.
That's the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, I think we've seen history here today.
Almost a spiritual experience.
That it's hard to believe it was ever intended to be taken seriously.
I'll admit it does sound rather far-fetched.
On the other hand, it's not funny at all. Or at least not intentionally. At least I don't think.
That's for you to think.
You also have to factor in the ending.
The creature was our soldier designed to fight our wars.
As it emerges that Lisa is not just on the alien's side, but... thank God that phone call came when it did earlier.
I'll get rid of him.
And then...
This can't be real. I think that's it.
That's how it ends.
This is ridiculous.
And that is the problem with Biohazard. It sure as hell isn't serious, but it sure as hell isn't funny. Particularly not during the long minutes of outtakes under the credits, which are just awkward.
You know, the real trick to my culinary activity is that I've acquired, the real activity, the real trick, the real trick to my culinary ability to, the real trick to my...
I felt more sympathy for him than any character in the film.
You're right again.
Thanks for watching. See all of our Alien movie reviews here. Nice to see Angelique Pettyjohn and Carol Borland. What other cult bit players have cropped up in roles in later cult films? Let us know in the comments below.
I think we lost him.